And we are back again, folks, for
Yeah.
a brand new episode of the Flixters. We're bringing you episode 251.
Ooh, 251. It's a whole lot of fun.
It's a whole lot of fun. That's what we like. So, folks, thanks for downloading this episode. So, we've got a great show for you. We're going to be bringing you some film reviews. We've got trailers, movie news, and we've got some new shows that are out, which we're going to be speaking about. And maybe, we actually no, we don't have any. We don't have any. What do you call it on this week's show, though, do we? Dara?
Hidden gems. No hidden gems. All our
No
gems
hidden
are
gems.
out. All out on
Exactly.
the open.
We've released
flapping
them.
about the place. Just there, dangling, hidden. Oh, no gems. Just all out.
Dangling, hanging out there. All right, listen,
Exactly.
let's get into the show. So, Deval, we've got a great show coming up. But before all of that, let's do the shout outs.
Yes, a few shout outs, just a handful of shout outs today. First one goes out to Zakharov. We're going to get Zakharov on the show, hopefully next week. He said the
Demeter,
20th.
vampires.
Yes, we'll do the Dracula vampire, Demeter voyage, and we'll suck everything out of that one for you. Next shout out goes to Zifra. And she actually gave us a little shout out on YouTube. She loves watching the show on YouTube. And she said, thanks for the Marvel shout outs. Because we did say we were going to do some Marvel news for her because she loves their Marvel.
Yep.
She said, thanks. So thanks. Right back to you, Zifra, on the big screen right now. I know you're watching. Give us a high five. Touch the screen. Bang on the screen. Now you can go and wipe it now. Wipe off that smudge. So a big shout out to you. Next shout out goes to our very own Ciel Noir 3. Hello, how are you doing? Go check out her page, Ciel Noir 3 on Instagram. This is the sort of page you go to where you can chat with her, interact with her. Guarantee. Just go into her page and see all the wellness, the happiness, the good vibes. You will leave that page better than when you entered.
Oh,
so
man,
imagine that. Just like when you come to the Flixters, you know what I mean?
Oh man! And listen, we're going to get Ciel Noir back on at some point as well, because there's going to be, before you know it, like Spider-Man Part 3 is going to be on our screens.
Yep.
So, but we'll try and get her on before that. But I mean, I just kind of, the way that time flies now. So, folks, if you want to get on the show, get in touch with us. We would love to have you on the show. We'll talk movies, we'll talk TV shows, whatever you want to speak about. Deval and I, we will be there with you. Exactly. All right, listen, let's move on to movie news now. Deval, man, listen, this is just crazy what is going on with Barbie and with Oppenheimer, but especially Barbie. So Deval, so this is hit like what? This is over $1 billion now, right?
This is billion, yeah. But when you think about it, this is serious shit.
It is.
We're talking about a doll, a doll from back in the day, getting a movie and it's hitting over $1 billion. I'm going to break it down for you, what $1 billion means right here. The only movie in 2023, we're in October now, and the only movie that's hit over $1 billion in 2023 is the Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, that's a computer game. Yeah, computer game from back in the day. 1.3 billion. Barbie has hit probably by the time we're recording this now is $1.1 billion. Yeah, worldwide. This is worldwide. Guardians of the Galaxy 800,000. Fast 10 700,000. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That was that was the animated one. That was just a few weeks ago. 600,000. Oppenheimer's hit $500 million, so 577.
So that's the next closest one.
Yeah, which is good. And remember, it was Barbie versus Oppenheimer. Barbie has done double Oppenheimer. That's still good numbers though for Oppenheimer, but
for the type of movie it is.
Exactly. Yeah, Ant-Man's 400 grand. Like, this is why IP. We talk about IP, intellectual property, being so valuable because letting go of certain IPs mean you don't have control of what happens to it afterwards. Imagine is it Mattel? Barbie, Mattel. Imagine if they let go of the rights, they wouldn't get the money.
No way.
You know what I mean? So $1 billion.
And Deval, off the top of your head, or do you know what about Mission Impossible?
Mission Impossible, the latest one that came out, that one is so $500,000. So $500 million.
Half a
That's
billion.
yeah. So it's on
Okay. So
yeah, it's on
even
half.
something like Mission Impossible, which has got Tom Cruise, which has got this like
Yeah,
massive kind of like, there's like 7 movies in the franchise. Even that hasn't been able to catch up to
yeah.
Barbie.
And bear in mind the budget, the budget of Barbie, was
Compared to
145
Mission
million
Impossible.
to make that movie, and that's still a lot of money. That's a lot of money,
Mm.
145 million. But when you getting back a billion, I don't know how they
Oh
divided. When
man.
they're getting back a billion, that's a 10x on your money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and
So a lot
Marvel
of that,
films cost 400 million, 300 million to make sometimes. So, man, it's
man.
crazy.
And listen, look, so a lot of that money, you were just talking about the kind of the cost of making Barbie movie. So
Mm,
their fees for actor in it, Margot Robbie and what's his name?
mate, Ryan
They're
Gosling.
10, 15 million.
I
Must be
think it depends if they went for a flat fee or if they've gone for some sort
for
of residual income or sort of
profits.
percentage. I reckon Margot Robbie, because she's a producer, one
She's
of
earning
her
dollars,
production
mate.
company was involved. She's making mad money from that. The
Yeah.
rest of the cast and crew, I'm not sure how it will split, but yeah, just like how who was it? Was it Harrison?
Harrison
No,
Ford
yeah, he was known to have done a percentage of one of his movies
in
and it made
Star
him
Wars,
mad money.
Star Wars, and then that he cleaned up in that one.
That's right. There you go.
I know Arnold Schwarzenegger, he used to do it on his movies as well
There you go.
because,
There you
mate,
go. Do
like,
you know who didn't do it? Do you know who didn't do it? Born Identity himself. What's his
what's his
name?
name? Matt Damon.
Matt Damon turned down Avatar. He didn't
Yes,
star in it, and part of his contract would have been to have a percentage of that movie, which we know at one time was the highest grossing movie of all time.
over a
That one
billion.
movie alone would have grossed him, I think, about $230 million
Oh
in a
man, shut
salary
the
for that
front
film.
door.
So yeah,
Oh
he's kicking
man,
himself. So percentage or one-time payment depends on what your circumstances are. Do you need the money
yeah,
now, or do you trust that the film's going to do so good you're going to
yeah,
make the money later? It's up to you to weigh it up.
man. Margot smashed it. All right, listen,
Yeah.
and more than likely, there's probably going to be like a spin-off or a Barbie
Part
Part 2. Who
two.
knows?
Oh yeah.
All right, talking about part twos, Deval, let's speak about this. Now, I did have a conversation about this with someone. So, Talk to Me is a horror movie, Australian made horror movie that Deval and we watched a few weeks ago. Go
Yeah.
back to one of our previous episodes. We watched it. We loved it. It's A24. And the
Say no
way
more.
that, exactly, and the way that movie ends is the main protagonist in the film, the main kind of character, her story arc kind of develops in that, and then she then becomes part of, I'm not giving anything away of it, she then becomes part of the whole kind of mythos of the whole kind of story. And then you think, oh shit, so this can go in a different direction now. So Deval, the news here is that what, A24, they want to make a sequel or a prequel, or what's going on?
Mate, what I'm saying is I saw that, the hand that's
Mm,
in Talk to Me. A24 had this sort of image animation kind of, well, it looked like stop motion a little bit,
yeah,
but basically the hand, as you know, the hand is like this kind of like,
yeah.
but the hand sort of does this. Yeah,
Oh
it does a number,
mate,
does
that
a
is
two.
wicked.
So
That is
judging
wicked
this coming
marketing.
from them, it looks like there's going to be a part two, which I can't wait for.
I can't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just hope they
yeah,
don't. So like, kind of look. All right, we got the movie. We thought that was brilliant, and then I know a lot of people were talking about the origin story. Right? How did the hand come about, and what was it, and is there kind of some deep history? So maybe they could go like prequel or whatever. But there was an interview that I read of the brothers or the kind of the guys who made the movie. They've said that they had ideas about, and they've got different directions that they could take the movie on. So they're already having these conversations. So, and I think they've already got the idea of where they want to take it. So let's hopefully they take it in a kind of good place. Because with sequels and prequels, they can go either way. So hopefully
yeah.
it does really well. Now let's speak about James Gunn. Deval, what you got for us here?
Ooh, James Gunn. We know James Gunn is now the sort of the head honcho. He's the Kevin
Mm,
Feige of the DC world,
yeah.
and that means he's responsible for the direction of the DC movies and all of that sort of thing. So, from what we understand,
Yeah.
James Gunn done a tweet recently, and this tweet sort of teases the sort of some of the characters coming up in the new DC movies.
Mm.
He tweeted uh, what was the tweet? The tweet was "The Man Who Laughs." You're thinking,
Okay.
what's The Man Who Laughs? So The Man Who Laughs is a film that came out in 1928, nearly 100 years
Oh
ago.
gosh.
1928, a bit of a sort of mad film about a sort of, I think, about a crazy person or something like that.
Mm.
But the visual image of The Man Who Laughs very much was the or one of the motivations or the concepts of how the Joker actually ended up looking. So that kind of crazy
Mm.
laugh, that sort of really
Twisted.
deranged, twisted and deranged look. That's how the Joker sort of came about. One of the sort of motivations. Now, people obviously we found out recently that James Gunn's going to be sort of overlooking the new Batman, which
Yeah.
is likely to be called The Brave and the Bold,
Right.
directed by Andy Muschietti, or maybe directed by Andy Muschietti.
Right. Okay.
Um, but people are saying that it might have an inclusion of the Batman Who Laughs. The Batman Who
Mm.
Laughs is a mad character who is a sort of amalgamation of Joker and Batman from a different multiverse. And this Joker and
Oh,
Batman is a
sounds
twisted, mad
crazy.
version of both characters. And there's just a lot going on right now. We don't know what
Mm.
direction it's going to be in, but the way he's teasing it, people are
Yeah.
saying it could be the Batman Who Laughs. So we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see because look, man, we've still got another Batman, the Batman Part Two, the
Pattinson
yeah,
one.
but yeah, the Pattinson
Yeah,
one. So
yeah,
we know that there's going to be a part two of that one. We know that the Penguin's coming out, the
mhm,
TV show on HBO Max or whatever
yeah.
it is. So this kind of that universe is going to be expanded, and then we've got a Joker that's coming out as well. Is that Joker this year or next year?
That's next year. That's next
Next
year.
year.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Still a lot of movies in the whole DC universe. And then, folks,
Mm,
next week or the week after, we've got Blue Beetle, which Deval and I, we're going to
yeah,
go out and watch. And we'll obviously bring you that. So keep a lot with the Flixters. We'll give you all the lowdown on all that information. But moving on, let's do new on streaming. Now, Deval, you and I, we've kind of spoken about this kind of outside of the show. This is a new TV show on
mm,
Paramount Plus.
yeah.
I've seen kind of like the first 3 or 4 episodes, and I kind of mentioned to Deval before. I'm digging it. It's got Zoe Saldana. She plays this kind of CIA, sorry, agent. She doesn't go on. She's not doing the field work, but she's the one who's pulling the strings, and she
Mm,
recruits people to kind of go into these kind of hotspots and deal with kind of situations. And so it's got her in it. It's got this I think it's Brazilian kind of American Brazilian actress.
okay.
She's really, really great. Her name is Cruz, and she's an undercover agent that has to infiltrate and become friends with a family member of a known terrorist. And then Nicole Kidman's in it, and then there's all these little subplots, these side things going on. And you know what, Deval? I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm really liking it.
Mate, thank you for putting me on this show, man.
Yeah,
After we
it's
spoke
really
last
good.
time, I went and I blitzed the three
Yeah,
episodes.
mate, it's
It
good.
is good.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the show, people, watch it. It's decent,
Mm.
decent, decent. So that's why we put it on there. We put it on there to remind you. It's not all about Netflix, Go watch out,
Yeah,
go on Paramount and check this show out. Honestly,
yeah.
it's really good. I ain't saying
Really, really
anymore, man.
good.
It's really good.
Yes,
Yeah,
no more on that one. Just go watch it out. And the other one is a new film, a Gal Gadot film that's out on Netflix. And if we've got time, we can maybe speak about it later on because I did go
mm,
out and watch this. This is called Heart of Stone.
yeah,
And it's kind of international cast, and here's all I'm going to say is this. I might even flip and end up giving too much away. It's kind of like, it's not like in the same budget as a Marvel movie or a Mission
yeah,
Impossible movie, Deval, or nor even a Wonder Woman type budget. It's kind of those big budget, but mid-level big budget
mm,
movie, if you know what
mm,
I mean.
yeah.
Not the kind of, I'd probably say like between the 150 and 200 million. Is that mid
Okay.
budget right now?
That's probably a bit on the higher. I'd say that on the higher end, I'd
Oh
say.
shit. Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe to 100 to the 150 then.
Okay. Okay. Barbie budget, yeah.
Ah, yeah, shit. You're talking about Barbie budget, but I
Yeah.
guess because of the locations and everything,
Mm,
it's out there. And look, if we've got time, we can speak about it afterwards. But Hearthstone is out
yeah.
on Netflix. Go check that one out if you like your action, your Mission Impossible Blonde type kind of movies. New one trailers, Cobweb. Now this one, what was it again? I think I did see this one, didn't I? What
This
was it?
one,
This was a
Cobweb. Oh
horror
my!
movie. Oh my
This one,
gosh.
Cobweb, looks sinister. It looks dark. It looks uncomfortable. It just looks like the sort of film you probably shouldn't watch. Cobweb. It's got stars Anthony Starr,
Yep.
who's we know
Homelander.
him as Homelander from The Boys. It's got another lady in it, and then it's got his son who looks
Mm,
like it looks they're locking they're keeping their son locked away in this room as if
yeah.
he's done something wrong, as if he's the problem. We're not sure what the problem is, whether it's the parents or the kid, but it's dark and there's all kinds of
Mm.
nastiness and like sort of ghouls or spirits there
The
going on.
mum.
It just looks wrong, man.
There's
Cobweb as
one
well.
bit. There's one scene where the mum
Mm.
is kind of like running to the door,
Yes,
and she's just
yes.
standing there. And oh
Oh,
my gosh, man,
this
that
film
looks
was. Do you know what?
nasty.
If you live alone, don't watch this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
If you are the sort of person that doesn't like the dark and doesn't like being jumped and doesn't like unsettling stuff, don't watch it. Don't listen to us. I mean, listen to us and don't watch it. We're
Yeah.
gonna watch it. Yeah, we'll
Trust me,
watch it
we
for you.
are gonna watch it, honestly. Yeah, that's called Cobweb. Go check out the
Yeah.
trailer. Pretty scary,
Mm.
creepy as well. Now the other one, I think we might have even spoken about this before, but this is Twisted Metal. This is out, I think, Deval, or it's not out. It's coming out
Yeah. No, this is out on what's it called again? What's that
on Peacock.
platform?
No, it's not.
Peacock. It's
Is it
Peacock.
Peacock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's out on Peacock in America. I'm not sure if it's been released everywhere yet, but
Mm.
it's out so far.
And this
And
is
this
Anthony Mackie, right?
Anthony Mackie, but based off a computer game, PlayStation.
Mm.
So I've put it on there because we're going to talk about PlayStation game films later.
Mm.
This is a series. Twisted Metal's about a dystopian world where people drive around in cars and wreck each other and do all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
They've released like 5 minutes of an episode
Oh, is
on
it?
YouTube. Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I saw it. 5 minutes of an episode. You can go and watch it. Gives you a bit of a feel of it. And you know what? When I watched this 5 minutes of the episode,
Mm.
I thought this looks shit. I'm really sorry. I know filmmaking is an art that is not
This, yeah,
easy. It's not easy. I've tried it myself. It's not easy. But the 5 minutes of the clip shows
yeah.
Anthony Mackie driving around in his car. People are shooting at him, like rocket launchers, all kinds of shit. And this guy's car is pretty much untouched. One window smashes.
Oh
He's driving
gosh,
around doing wisecracks like he's a stand-up comedian.
like he's Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy.
it is just. I'm thinking, is this for real? And it is for real.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't look good. I'm giving this a miss.
We're giving this a pass.
Yeah.
You know what? I know that it's out, and yeah, I mean, I don't think it's kind of. I'll have to, in order for put it this way, in order for me to watch it, I'm going to have to go to an alternative route to watch it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this that you know that kind of saves me the time. But listen, there's too many things out there to kind of like watch, man, and then to add kind of this, and if it's like I don't know. Listen, mate, we haven't even seen Walking Dead New York.
Yeah, that's how it as well.
And people are saying that Walking Dead New York is actually
Yeah.
a return
Oh,
return to
good
kind of
stuff.
like the
Yeah.
roots like
Okay.
of the Walking Dead. So, mate, I might watch that before I watch Twisted Metal.
Mm.
But anyway, that's
Yeah.
out there if you guys want to watch that. Now, this other one, this trailer, is the Continental. So this is I thought this was going to be a movie for some reason, and then I thought it was a TV show, but then I realized it's just a 3-parter, Deval.
Yeah. Yeah. 3-parter.
Yeah, so it's a 3-parter. This is called The Continental. So this is set in the world of the John Wick universe, and this is set in the 70s, and this kind of focuses on Winston. And here's the thing, Deval. I watched the trailer, and I was like, hang on a second, doesn't he have a British accent in the movies?
Uh,
Because
I
it's
think
Ian
it's.
McShane.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I've got mixed up with the other guy, but yeah, he does. Yeah, he
But this
does.
guy doesn't have a British accent.
Oh shit! Is the guy that we're seeing supposed to be Winston? Is that what
That's
it's
Winston.
about? I didn't
Yes.
realize that.
And this
Oh,
is what I don't get. The
are you
guy,
serious?
yes. So
No.
it's a younger Winston set in the
Oh my!
70s.
I didn't realize that. Why didn't I realize that?
But I'm thinking, hang on a second. I was listening for his accent. I was like, no, but he's got this kind of, he's speaking American accent. And when we see Winston in John
Mm.
Wick, he's
He's
British.
English, man. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
London.
exactly. This is
Says
what
he-
I don't get.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? Yeah, I got to check it out again. I got to
Check
find
it
out
out
what's going on.
again.
I got to
But
find out what's going on, man.
but the
That's not
trailer
right.
looks great because there's action, there's fist
Oh
fights,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
guns, there's kind of beef
yeah,
between Mel Gibson's character and Winston,
yeah.
and there's kind of like all this stuff going
It's
on.
got a lot of character as well because it's back in the 60s or 70s or whatever.
70s.
There's a bit of a I don't know. There's something about it, the
Mm,
costume and the way everyone, the guns and like the way they're sort of placing it and the way it looks. It's
mm.
got a different character to it, which
The
I actually
music.
like. Yeah, the
Yeah,
music
yeah.
as well.
The
Yeah,
afros, the kind of the long leather
yeah,
jackets and
yeah.
everything. So they got all that. And there's a
It's
bit in there.
groovy.
Yeah, they are definitely, yeah. There's a bit in there where he knocks on the door or something, and then he goes, "We're gonna need guns, a lot of
Yeah,
guns."
yeah,
And then I was just like, "Oh shit!" They had to do a callback
yeah,
to obviously
yeah,
Keanu,
yeah.
but it looks good. I'm gonna watch it. This is coming out in September, Deval.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching it. Three part, sort
Mm,
of 3 part events, that, as they call it. But yeah, it's decent. I think I'm watching that. I'm
yeah.
watching it too.
Yeah, so we're going to sit down and watch that one, and we will tell you about that one in September in a future upcoming episode. But listen, over an anniversary corner, let's speak about this. So this is from 10 years ago. This is a movie called Rush, and this is kind of like a biopic. This is
Mm.
based on a true story. So this is Chris Hemsworth and who was the guy? I've forgotten who
Oh,
was he
Daniel
playing.
Brühl. Daniel
Daniel
Brühl.
Bruhl, that's it.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bruhl is playing like a famous person as well. And I've forgotten who Chris
It's
Hemsworth was playing.
James Hunt and Nikki Lauda.
Nicky Lauda, that
Yeah,
was it.
I don't know who these people are, but they, I guess,
Racing
great.
F1, Formula
Yeah,
One, like,
back
yeah,
in the day.
back in the day. And it was that kind of rivalry between the guys. And I think there's kind of like a cameo. I don't know who the actor is, but Ayrton Senna
Mm.
is in there, and then Ayrton Senna was kind of like a massive guy in the Formula One, and there's a whole kind of there's a documentary on him and about how he
Mm.
died and everything. But yeah, so this is Rush, and I remember Deval, the sound of this music of this film was mad. The sound effects, because I remember when I
Mm.
watched this in the cinema, they worked on the sound. Apparently, they did something special with, how to get the sound of the cars and the
Yeah.
whizzing around and everything. That's one thing that I remember from it, but that's all I can tell you.
Mm. But you know what? Sound is really important, especially when it
Mm,
comes to replicating sort of machinery that we know or experts know what really sounds like. They have to
yeah.
get their authentic sounds, probably from the tracks, and put
Mm,
it into the film. So it's really important. When they first showed this film, Nicky Lauda saw it and said, "Oh shit, that's really me." It's like you really saw the movie being portrayed by him so realistically. He
yeah.
was like, "Shit, that's really me." But
Mm,
yeah, this is directed by Ron Howard, so
yeah.
obviously big boy director,
Yeah.
and this done really good things when it came out in 2013, 10 years ago, and
Wow.
this really sets us up for what we're going to talk about, which is a real, like, real life events that
Based
take
on a
place
true
on the
story as
tracks.
well.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen Rush, go check that out, and
Mm.
obviously use that as a precursor to this movie. So this is, I mean, look, Deval, here we are. We're at the stage now. We're 2023, and we know that the kind of games industry and the movie industry, you've mentioned this before, they're kind of having this little merge going on. We're seeing more of the Nintendo stuff. We're
Mhm.
seeing more of the Sega stuff with Sonic and, Last of Us, all this stuff's going on. And this movie, Gran Turismo, is based off of a game, a
Yeah.
best-selling car game. And I'm telling you, I played Gran Turismo like years ago. And when I played Gran Turismo all that time ago, I was like, man, it's so realistic. This is the graphics back then. I don't know what it's like on the PlayStation 5. It must be amazing now.
It's crazy. Put it that way. It's just crazy. You're in
Mm.
the game. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So now what they've done is Sony and whoever owns the rights to the game, they've like, right, okay, let's make a movie out of this because we see a story. So this stars David Harbour, Hopper from Stranger Things,
Mhm.
Legolas from Lord of the Rings, because that's what I know him from.
Yeah.
What's his real name? Shit, Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom. And I don't know who this new kid is, Deval. Who's this new guy?
Yeah, Archie Madekwe. I think his
Okay,
name's
British
like
guy, right?
British guy. Yeah, his name sort of derives from Zimbabwe or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, British guy. So yeah, he's kind of like a new guy on the block. He's quite tall as well. He was in
Mm.
Midsummer. He was in Midsummer and Beau is
Oh,
Afraid actually. So yeah,
okay. So he must have been one of the mates then in
yeah,
Midsummer
yeah.
or something. All right. Yeah. So Deval, he went out and watched this. So Deval, go. Yeah, take it away, man.
Yeah, this is, I mean, PlayStation. PlayStation. Did you did you get the PlayStation 1? Like how when did the PlayStation
PlayStation 2.
you started on PlayStation 2?
Yeah.
So I started on PlayStation 1 in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Tekken, one of the first games I had on there. Tekken, Wipeout, uh I think what was the Resident Evil,
Resident
like
Evil. Yeah.
old school games,
Mm,
PlayStation 1, and Gran Turismo has been around for a very, very
mm.
long time. Gran Turismo, PlayStation game. The creator, I hope I get his name right, Kanu, uh, Emmanuel's going to cuss me for this, uh, Kazunori Yamauchi.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds
He's
pretty good.
the creator of Gran Turismo, and he wanted Gran Turismo not just to be a racing game, he wanted it to be a racing simulator, which makes
Ah,
you feel like you are racing in a real world,
yeah.
situation, like real cars, real tracks, like we mentioned a few moments ago with Rush, real sound,
Sound.
all the sort of talk, all
Yeah.
the control, everything about the car. He
Mm,
wanted it to be a simulator, real. So that's where the game sort of derives from in PlayStation. And to this day, the game is so successful and has gone to take another level. So that's the sort of premise on what Gran Turismo is
mm,
all about. So this film basically is a true life story. And do you know what? When I went and sat down in the film, I
mm.
forgot it was a true life story. I just went into it thinking, oh, this is going to be a bullshit film. I
Yeah.
forgot. And then I realized this is a true life story, directed by Neil Blomkamp, who we've seen District 9 and
Oh shit!
Chappie,
It's Neil Blomkamp.
all of that, exactly. And yeah, so this film is basically about a young guy called Jann Mardenborough,
Mm.
and he's from Wales, even though it doesn't sound Welsh. His
Okay.
dad doesn't sound Welsh. Jimon Hunsu doesn't sound Welsh. His mum, Jerry Halliwell,
Is it?
Jerry Spice Girl,
Oh
Ginger
my
Spice,
gosh!
she's in it as his mum. She don't sound Welsh. This is in
Oh my
Cardiff.
god!
None of them sound Welsh, but they're in Wales.
Yeah.
And he's a young guy who basically lives in dreams. Gran Turismo. He's got the headset. He's got the steering wheel. He is
Mm.
an expert at the game. Like people can't touch him. So David Harbour's character is an old school guy that used to race but doesn't race anymore. And now he works in he's a lead mechanic, understands cars like crazy.
Mm.
Orlando Bloom is like the almost like the marketing guy, the
Right. Right.
face of the company. And basically, his idea was that he wanted to make a tournament where he can get people that are really good with the simulator to actually be good enough to then drive for Nissan in real races. That
Wow.
was Orlando Bloom's dream. He went and pitched it to Nissan. Nissan said, "Okay, let's do this." Then Orlando Bloom goes to David Harbour and says, "I need you to be able to train these racers to
Mm.
then be able to race on a real track." First, David Harbour's like, "This is bullshit. It's never going to work." He changes his mind. He gets onto it. But then they
Yeah.
do a tournament. Jann Mardenborough's character, he basically wins the tournament, and
Mm.
then there's like 10 great tournament champions that get together and
Mm.
start to learn how to race on the track. And this is crazy when you think about it. Like these
Yeah.
people that play games are now going to be driving 200 plus mile an hour cars on the track. And David Harbour's character explains that this is not no toy.
Yeah.
These cars are going mad fast. The G-force that he says that you experience is X amount what people experience when they're going up space rockets.
Is
And your
it?
body
Wow.
needs to be rigid. You need to
Yeah.
train, stamina, weights. You got
Yeah.
to have good core strength. You got to be an athlete People think you can just sit in the car and put your
Sit
foot on the
no, just yeah,
accelerator. Nah,
exactly. No,
you've got to be
no.
an athlete. So he trains them. There's a whole, a whole part of the film where it goes into. I'm not going to sort of go into the minutiae of it, but they all get tested, and one by one, some of them fail the test and they get
Yeah,
knocked
they
off,
fall
knocked
out.
off, knocked off. So he
Mm.
just needs one of these people to get through to the end. Obviously, you know who it is.
Yeah.
But this guy, basically, he's also got a younger brother who plays football. His dad
Mm.
used to play football, Jimon Honsu, and his dad the whole time is saying to him, "Oh no, this is not a career. You can't sit in your room and just sit there playing computer games. Come on, let's go out and do this, go that."
Yeah.
And he even takes his son to go work with him on the train tracks, and it's a beautiful scene.
Is it?
Because the son with his brother, they go steal the dad's car, go out to party. They
Yeah.
get caught. The dad takes Jann to
Yeah.
work one day on the train tracks. And Jan's like, "Oh, Dad, I'm really sorry. I'll pay for the damage for the car because he just sort of damaged it a little bit. And, I won't do it again." And the
Yeah.
dad said, "But do you think that's why you're here? You're here to earn money to pay for the car." The dad's like, "No, that's not why you're here. You're here because this is where you end up if you don't have a
Mm.
plan in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is where you end up if you don't have a plan in
Sobering. Yeah.
life." And dad says to him, "If you think you can just sit there and play computer games all day, then you might as well come and start work here now.
Mm.
Come here now, right
Wake up
away."
call, mate. Yeah.
The dad's deep. He doesn't mess around. And it's like
That's
shit.
true.
And then
Yeah.
that makes him actually quit the job that there and then and go and do this tournament. And then obviously
Okay.
he wins the tournament. And bit by bit, he's going through some challenges, man. Some really tough stuff happens to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
spoil it. Some really tough stuff happens to him. But do you know what? Through the challenges and through the David Harbour's character is a tough cookie, but he knows how to really develop these people,
Yeah.
and you see how they develop, and you kind of root for the guy, and you
Mm.
see just how they can, what it takes to win these races, yet alone even finish fifth or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well,
And
trying
do you know
hard.
what? It's a do you know what? I sat there thinking this is going to be a shit film, and a part of me expected it to be, and it
Yeah.
wasn't. I didn't know what to do with
Okay. That's
myself.
good.
I didn't know what to do. I was like, shit, this isn't shit. I thought this was going to be shit. It's not shit. It's actually okay.
Because
And
remember when the trailer first came out, we
yeah,
always had this kind of reservation where we were like, "Oh shit, it's going to be another game movie, and it's going to be blah
yeah,
blah 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 blah." But
nah,
behind it is this whole family story as well.
yeah. Family story.
Mm.
The lead actor, I must say, he's a bit bland at times. I'm not
Right,
gonna
right,
lie.
okay,
I'm not gonna cuss him too much, but
yeah,
um, and then yeah, it's just like some of the acting and stuff doesn't blow you away, but it's
mm.
all the components together make it work. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're
totally.
a bit like Real Sociedad in 2003.
Mm.
They got no superstars, but together they're a good
To
team.
they're a good
Do you know
team.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
but yeah. So, and also the thing that I think for me is a cherry on a cake was the fact it's a true story.
It's incredible.
True. They're building up to racing the Le Mans 24 hours. Le Mans
And the
is,
history of that
mate.
competition. Oh my
Trust me. I'm
gosh.
not gonna say what happens, but they
Yeah,
build up. They have 3 race drivers and they take shifts. It's a
yeah.
24-hour race.
24-hour race.
You have to
Mad.
be mad. But I will spoil one thing. At the end of the movie, they show you the the
The real
pictures
kid.
of the real guy, man. The real, and that's what
Uh-uh.
that for me is
Is the icing on the
probably
cake.
30% of what makes it a good movie.
Right,
Because this
right.
guy, the real life guy,
Yeah,
uh, it's a true story. You see images of him playing PlayStation, going to the tournament, going to the races. You see him skinny, and then you see
yeah.
him
Him bulking
bulky
up.
because he's had to be an athlete. You see all these things, and you see that there's a young picture of the boy,
Yeah.
which they use in the film.
Mm.
That's actually him.
Oh,
And then also,
really?
he is the stunt double for the actor. So he's stunt doubling himself in the.
Self.
It's do you know what? I feel this
It's
guy done
worth it.
well. Yeah, this
Yeah,
guy done well. I don't know. I didn't know anything about this guy before, but this movie, even though
yeah.
it's dramatized and whatever, you know what? It's good. I ain't gonna lie,
It's
it's
good.
good.
You
Yeah,
know, yeah, I'm like that as well. Like when you know that it's a real and that it actually this can happen for someone, and it has happened for
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
Like playing games, you get to flipping race a real car, and you get the fame, and you get money, and all this sort of stuff, man. I'm like, shit. Yes.
Teacher, we live in an age, like 25 years ago when Gran Turismo came out, it's not the same as it is now.
It's not the
You
same as it
know
now.
what the industry is like with esports. So
Massive,
esports
huge
gamers,
industry.
people are they have these teams of
Mm,
people that they have teams and
yeah,
they're playing games and doing tournaments.
yeah.
It's a full-time job for some
I
people.
know.
They
And you know
are,
the prize money for some of these competitions, they're like hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's like hundreds of thousands of dollars, mate.
that's,
Seriously.
and then you've
You
got people
know,
on YouTube playing games and
yeah,
people watch them playing games. These
names.
people are millionaires. Where do
I
you think
know.
KSI came from? Paul Logan or Logans or whatever they're
All that
called.
stuff.
Where do they come
Yeah,
from? They came from games.
I know.
This,
Twitch.
this day
I
and
know.
age
I
is
know. Yeah,
different.
I know it happens that a lot of these gamers are on Twitch. You know, it reminds me a bit of fighting with my family,
Yes, yes,
because
yes,
that was a
yeah,
true story
yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
You know, about this person from England. She
Yeah,
sends in a tape.
wrestling.
She gets picked for WWE, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and it just kind of, plucked from obscurity, and then
yeah.
this kid as well. So, all right, so this one is definitely worth a watch. Now,
Worth a watch. 7 out
what
of
about
10 on
so what about
IMDb, so
what
not
about the
bad.
graphics?
Do you know what's funny? That's a good question. Yeah, because during the film, during the film, like because he knows all the tracks off by heart because he's played
Yeah,
these
because he's
tracks are
played it
real
all.
to life. Yeah,
Yeah,
so when he's driving on the real track, sometimes he's like, I know this. I know this. I need to relax. And then the screen goes from the car to the
yeah,
computer and it goes to
wicked.
side view and it takes away the car and it puts his headset on him and then he's driving. It's like he's driving his computer game, but really he's in the car.
Mm.
So yeah, the graphics are good. But
All
yeah,
right, okay,
no, it's a
cool.
good film. Just go
All
watch
right,
it. It's
go out,
decent.
go
It's
out
decent.
and watch it. And if you do watch this film, then let us know what you think. Get in touch with us on the usual channels. Devout, we've got 4 minutes. Let's try and
Yeah,
round
do
this
it,
one up.
man. Mm.
Try and round this one up to 40 minutes. So listen, look, I watched Heart of Stone on the weekend. I thought, oh, let me look. This appeared on the whole Netflix thing. I thought, let me go watch this. And it's Gal Gadot, Jamie Dornan, a few other people. An international cast, and I get it because in the movie they go into all these different places. But basically, the breakdown is this: we have MI6 tracking the baddies, and then within the MI6 team is a double agent. And when you say double agent, you're thinking, oh, they're the baddies. Well, not really. So the agent works for another secret, top secret, above top secret agency called the Charter, and Gal Gadot is one of those members. So she's infiltrated the MI6 because she goes into situations when governments, they can't really do what they're supposed to do and what they should be doing. So she goes in and she clears up. So she has to remain secret to her MI6 team, goes in, cleans shit up, and she has to try and do this without her team knowing exactly who she is. She's just kind of like a tech analyst. And before too long, her cover's blown, and there's a cat and mouse between her character and Jamie Dornan's character, and there's this kind of like twist. So when I put this movie on, the kind of blurb is, if you like Mission Impossible and if you like Blonde, this is going to be for you. It's right up your alley. And for me, Mission Impossible Fallout, which is what it kind of reference, is kind of the high point out of all those Mission Impossible movies. A really great Mission Impossible movie. And for me, Deval, remember we watched Blonde, starring Charlize Theron, a really great action flick set in the 80s, spy thriller. And I'll straight off the bat, I'll tell you, it is nothing like those two movies. So if you go in thinking that it's on the level of Mission Impossible and it's on the level of Blonde, you're going to be disappointed. But if you go in thinking, oh, this is kind of like your mid-level, female-led action movie with some decent action set pieces, some great locations, some really unbelievable stuff as well. Like, you're really going to look at this stuff and think,
Like
okay,
Fast
well,
and Furious level of unbelievable.
yeah, kind of like a
Yeah.
few little instances of that. You're going to be like, okay, whatever. But as a Friday night or a Saturday night, you put it on, you just kind of want something action, something fun to watch, nothing that's going to stretch the imagination too much. That's where we're at. And Gal Gadot, I think, Deval, she's not doing Wonder Woman, or maybe she's doing Wonder Woman, I don't know. She's kind of, moving into this kind of, she's kind of fit the mold a little bit of that, this action hero as well. She did Fast and Furious, didn't she? Just recently as well. She turned up in Fast and Furious.
She's
back. Yeah, exactly. So, she fights good. I mean, the fight scenes, they're decent. They're great. It's stuff that we've seen before. Don't get me wrong. There's a massive car chase scene, which kind of does remind you of Mission Impossible as well, but obviously not on the level of Mission Impossible. So it's decent. It's okay. It's not going to be something that is going to wow you.
Okay.
Watch it if you've got nothing else to watch, basically. Okay. And it's called Heart of Stone.
You've got a heart of stone after that.
Holy shit, mate. Oh, mate.
It is what it is, man.
It is what it is. But shit, maybe I better watch it again and maybe not be so harsh on it. No. But listen, all I'm going to say is there will be a sequel. All I'm going to say is there also will be a sequel. You just know. Yeah.
And kind of lungs of stone in that one. What's the next?
Oh shit, mate. I wonder if actually, you know what, who'll go? Emmanuel. If Emmanuel watches this movie, I want to get Emmanuel's take on it, because I reckon he'll watch it. I reckon Emmanuel will watch it.
Give it a 1 star, probably 0.5.
Or maybe he might be a bit more kind of lenient towards it. I don't know. It's okay. It's like, it's not on the level of Blonde, put it that way.
Yeah.
Blonde, we liked Blonde. We watched Blonde and that was really good. I like that. But anyway, there you go. So listen, folks, that is the end of the show.
Yep.
We hope you enjoyed it. Remember, we've got more movies coming up. We've got the Dracula movie to speak about.
And Blue Beetle next week as well.
Blue Beetle next week as well. So 2 big movies. Keep it locked with the Flixters and we'll bring you all of that stuff. So that's it. That's all